That's a spill. You're gonna make an egg and you're gonna take it and you're gonna take the, How could that happen when I'm wearing my lucky Elijah Craig socks? There you go. Good morning, Internet. Wake up. It's almost booze o'clock, and you don't want to be late for booze o'clock. I'm Dave, and welcome back to the Noisy Barstool Presents. Today we're doing something a little different, though. We're going to do a how-to video. So the Noisy Barstool is presenting the Whiskey Sour. Now, the reason I chose the Whiskey Sour is because this is a cocktail that will change depending on what type of setting it's ordered in. It'll look one way coming out of a pub or a dive bar, and it'll look another way when it comes from, say, a fancy restaurant or a cocktail lounge. And I figured I'd detail why that is. So today we're going to start with the version you'd see in a cocktail lounge. First things first. Depending on where you work, your bar's going to want to either have you start spirit first or sugar first. There's two philosophies on that. The whiskey first means that the customer sees the whiskey you're putting in there, and they're excited about it, and they're seeing that they're obviously getting more whiskey than anything else, so they're happy. But on the other hand, if you screw up that cocktail, all of a sudden you have to throw it away, and you've used the most expensive part of the production first, so you throw away a lot of money. The other idea is that you use sugar first. That way, if you screw up the cocktail and you have to toss it out, it's no big deal. And that's what we're going to do here. So first, take your simple syrup, do a ½ ounce, measure it out in your jigger. Second, measure out your lemon juice, same thing, a ½ ounce. And finally, you're going to measure out your whiskey, 2 ounces. Here comes the weird part. You're going to crack an egg and use the egg white in your actual cocktail. Let's see if I can still do this.
I don't know. There it is.
Now we're going to do what we in the business call a dry shake. That's where you shake the whole concoction without putting any ice in it. I'm going to start that dry shake, and then while I do that, I'm actually going to change the angle on the camera, because when I do my wet shake, you're going to want to see how it looks when it pours into the glass, so I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. Alright, and now that we're done dry shaking it, we're going to have to add our ice and do a wet shake. We dry shook so that we could mix everything together, including the egg white, and now we're wet shaking it to chill down the cocktail and also thin it out a little bit with the water that melts off the ice. This is going to be sonically displeasing, so I'm sure I'll put some music or something while I shake the wet shake. Now you're going to take your tea strainer . Now you can see why we added the egg white. The egg white gives it this lovely white froth right across the top there, essentially giving it almost like a little meringue. Now, most places will take a little bit of lemon peel, spritz some citrus oil across this top. Then they will make sure that the citrus oil is on every part of the lip, discard the peel, and then take their bitters of choice, probably Angostura, Just do a little bit, dollop here, dollop there, right here, right there. Then take a toothpick or a straw. Give yourself a little heart. And voila, ready to serve. Alright, now that you've made the cocktail like you'd see it, say, in a cocktail lounge, let's talk about making a whiskey sour the way you'd see it in a dive bar. Now, most dive bars, they might have simple syrup and they might have fresh lemon juice. But more than likely when you order a whiskey sour, they're making it with sour mix. Now, sour mix will come pre-bottled or it might even come off the soda gun. I've made my own, and I've actually made you a supplementary video, so if you'd like to figure out how to make your own sour mix, say for a party or something, go ahead and take a look at that. I'll put a link at the end of this video or in the description or something like that. The other thing you'll need is one of these, because it seems like every dive bar in America uses glasses like this. If it's a fast-paced place, they're probably not even going to bother with a jigger. What they'll do is take their whiskey, do a pretty healthy pour into the glass. Then they'll take their sour mix and make sure they're using a little bit more of that than the whiskey. Take a few cubes. Notice I didn't fill it all the way up. That's because I'm going to shake it. It's going to melt a little bit. Now I've seen some bars just take their shaker like this and take the glass and turn it upside down and seal it like that and then shake it. I'm not going to do that because I don't know whether or not this is tempered glass. I got this at a thrift store. And also I tried to do this yesterday and it sprayed all over the place and then I had to redo the video. So I'm going to add one more ice cube. Again, this will be sonically displeasing. I'm sorry. Now, with this one, we're not even going to bother straining it, because if you're doing it at a dive bar, most people aren't going to be angry if you just do a dirty dump, which just means you pour that directly into the glass, right from your strainer. Top it with a few cubes. And then finally, in a dive bar setting, most people are used to using cherries as the garnish. And a lot of people you'll see use those soda fountain cherries, those really bright pink ones, but I've been soaking cherries in bourbon since June, so I'm just going to use one of those for me. And you'll drop it in, and you'll often see it sink, so that as... let's do a second one, just for fun. I often drop two. And then you've got that lovely little dark patch floating around at the bottom. Alright y'all, so I showed you how to make a whiskey sour the way you'd see it in a cocktail lounge and the way you might see it in a dive bar. And now I'm including one just for fun. I don't really think this is a whiskey sour by any means, but you know, sometimes when you become a bartender and your friends find out you're a bartender, they're always like, oh, make me something crazy at their parties, and they never have anything good to make stuff with. So this is just a way you can spruce something up in front of your friends and make them think, wow, he's a real bartender. So a lot of times when you go to a party, people will have, you know, some fruit cut, they might have some whiskey out, or they might have, you know, the basics or what have you. And let's say all that they really have is whiskey and some Coke and some Sprite and maybe some lemonade. What people don't realize is that some of the things on, say, a red Solo cup that you might find at a party, these are actually measurements. So this bottom little tier, that's about an ounce. So we're going to do a little bit more than that. So what you might do is pour some whiskey, fill up right to about this line with lemonade, already thinned out. You don't need to shake it for too long. Squeeze a lime for, reasons to make it look all fancy. Squeeze a lemon. These lemons are really big, but normally I'd drop a slice of lemon in there. Top it with that. Throw some ice. What you might not have ever realized is that the little cups that are used for wine and whiskey drinks, and then the big cups that are used for beer, fit into each other like a shaker. That's really the only reason I included this, because I once worked a bar on the Mardi Gras route, and when Mardi Gras comes around, we get rid of all our glassware and all the important stuff, so a lot of times you gotta shake stuff in plastic. Turn it over. Look at that. A perfect fit. And look, your friend even brought those weird cherries I was talking about. The ones that are bright red. So just drop one of those in there. And like magic, you're a bartender to all your friends. I don't think I'm gonna zoom in on this one. I think this one is good just how it is. Cheers. It's not bad. Alright friends, I hope you liked that video, and for some of you newer up-and-coming bartenders, I hope at least the first two were somewhat informative. The third one was kind of a joke, but who knows, maybe you learned something. If you like this video enough to actually like it, think about subscribing to the channel or hitting the bell icon to get notifications. That way you can keep up to date with any other how-to videos I put up. Take a look at the supplementary video on how to make sour mix, if you're interested in something like that. And then also, if you get a chance, maybe check out some of my travel vlog stuff that I do also on this channel. I'll put links in the description, or if I can figure out how, I'll put actual thumbnails up here for you to click on, but hey, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I enjoyed doing this video for you, and as always, if it ever looks like your glass is half empty, that might mean you're just not drinking fast enough. Cheers!